What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com's The Hype. Thank you guys for listening. We're just fresh off Fanatics Fest. We're going to recap that today. Also got some exciting news. We're going to be at the National, so if you missed out on Fanatics Fest, come see us in the sports card nonsense area. We're going to have some free breaks. We're going to have an opportunity to win a huge card. Come say hi, because we got a lot of stuff going on. We have a few of our new limited shirts. And, of course, we're throwing the Road to the National party. And I'd love to see my Hype podcast listeners there in person so we can meet. And you can tell us, how we fix the show, if we need to kick Dan off, stuff like that.
So you're going to love this episode if you're like, Dan shouldn't be on the Hype. Well, actually, no, he will be on the show later on. But, yeah. But we don't want that. We want to be one big happy family. And I got to say,
or you can say that you just hate the Rams and he's gonna stop on his Rams hot takes. That's what we really need to hear over at the the National, the party of the National. It's going to be Thursday, July 30th,
6 to 9 p.m. local time in Chicago at Pete's Dueling Piano Bar. If you guys are familiar with the layout of that area, there's that big shopping center. I can't remember the name of that shopping center. It's a plaza where it's got a bunch of places to eat and play, and they got bowling alleys.
So if you're staying in the area, right, because there's like 9 or 10 hotels right there within walking of Donald Stevens Center. Yeah. So if you're right there, easy to get to. Uber necessary. You just walk down there.
8 to 10 minute walk from the convention center, if that. I might be overselling it.
That's if you're walking slow.
Yeah, exactly. Which I get it. After a day of the National, you might be walking slow. I'm so excited to be going to the National again. I took a year off last year, actually last couple of years, I want to say. So I'm excited to get back out there and see everybody and the party. This is 4 years in a row now? It's our 4th straight year.
4th annual party at the National. So,
and it's just growing every year. I love that it's now, when we put it out there, the amount of emails and messages I got when we put that message first up and people being like, I'm stoked. It's the thing I look forward to, hearing people in person. I think you guys heard people at Fanatics Fest being like, can't wait for the party. It's just really cool to see something that you guys said we've all started here 4 years ago of like, what if we do this every year? And now it's like our community looks forward to it as much as we do. And so thank you guys for making it something that we look forward to doing every year and something that you guys look forward to. It's like, I can't wait.
Absolutely. It's a good time. And, we get to do this with you guys in IRL. That is like the key word I've been hearing in real life. So you guys listen to us and digitally, and, we communicate digitally. So it's nice to be able to have you folks in person. And, there's longtime fans that love hanging out with once a year. And we'll see you guys there. I mean, we're going to have Wee Man. We're going to have Bub City Barbecue. Yeah. So it's going to be, and there's some more special surprises to be announced later. We're going to do our raffles. There won't be karaoke this time, but we have 2 expert dueling piano bar artists that can play any song. So it's going to be fantastic to have that in the background.
A big group effort. But I was told today, yes, if you are feeling like, my star needs to shine, I think you can still get up on that stage during our private hours, which we will have it from 7 to 9, private piano, not karaoke, private piano playing, where everyone gets to sing along. And like I said, get your shine on, go up on stage and, see if...
Yeah, we were there last year, and Joe, who will be from Mojobreak Gaming, who will be there again this year, he got up on stage and danced to Coolio's Gangster's Paradise. So when I say they can play any song, they can play any song. It's going to be awesome.
Really
and
cool.
One of the things that is we're not going to be able to have anybody under 21, but there is a place to hang out right outside for them. If you have to bring a little bit of the older ones. I also wanted to do some free breaks for you folks that are going to the party for your kids. So if you're like, I can't bring my kid in this year, we're going to do some free breaks for them as well back in, the normal hours of the National at our booth.
Yeah.
So that should be fun.
That'll be really exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, last time you were there, Joe Staley was in a crab costume.
Oh, man. That's right. Gosh, what a highlight. Joe Staley singing Under the Sea, brought the house down. These are the kind of things you get with the Mojobreak party. And, of course, our good friends at Sports Cars Nonsense going to be there as well, co-hosting. And saw a lot of names, a lot of familiar names there that are coming through. So very excited about it. But Fanatics Fest, you know what? Here's my main takeaway from Fanatics Fest, a show I was not at. Everyone's voices.
You weren't there IRL.
Yes, I wasn't there IRL, but I was there in spirit. But everyone's voice is intact.
Mine's about 70%.
But you know what, though? Usually everyone comes back and it's like 30%.
Well, you know what it
So
is.
it's pretty good.
It wasn't as many. We didn't do any breaks this year, really, like we have in the past. That's when I think your brain is trained to talk a little louder. I did like 4 or 5 social media videos, and naturally with the sound in the background, your voice goes a lot higher. That's why it gets thrown out. That probably lack of water, but mainly it's like you throw a camera in front of me, and it's like I got to talk louder.
Yeah,
and I don't really necessarily need to talk that loud, but it's just the ambiance of noise around me, like the WWE stage that was literally right by us. That unfortunately I have to take Cult of Personality, which is one of my favorite songs from Living Color. I have to put it on pause for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, because I think I heard that song 155 times this weekend. So, because it's a wrestler entrance.
right. And it was, the whole thing was fans could go up there, do their own wrestler entrance. And I'm sure, obviously, a very popular song. What is it? CM Punk walked out
CM
to
Punk's,
it.
yeah. So everybody would. It's a cool experience, believe me. That's like top notch. I know Justin Bieber came out. It's part of the Fanatics games as well. Was the wrestler entrance stage. So it was one of the events. Justin Bieber came out, and every time you heard a big roar, it was probably a celeb that was on stage doing some wrestler entrance. But yes, Living Color, Cult of Personality, one of the all-time great songs, is now out of my playlist.
You'll be waking up in a cold
3 or 4
sweat.
months.
You hear, you're like, oh God, not again.
Yeah. So, and man, I feel like they've used that song for a lot of things. It's a great jam, very underrated band. So
Yeah. The main thing, I mean, just watching it from afar and seeing, I mean, the FOMO was real for sure. And seeing the amount of star power there. And I feel like every single year since this show, now 3 years in, I felt like year one, the takeaway was that was number one. They had to make it as big as possible. Can't get any bigger. Well, year two felt like at least as big. This year, I mean, it felt like watching it, this was on another level. It was astronomical. It was on a completely different plane of existence, how much bigger it felt.
Yes. It definitely a collision course with, of course, the World Cup final, which is why this event was timed with that. Because normally I think they're going back to June to have this event, as June is a landing spot from what I hear. But you had the collision course of that. You just had Fanatics. I will say, like, I don't think there's a company that markets better than Fanatics. I mean, I got back from obviously in a dream world at the show with everything going on. I mean, I literally call it a dream world, and I wanted to come on here and be critical. Believe me, I wanted to, but there was like, I'm trying to find a reason to be critical of the show. But we can also discuss on why it's not the National and why they are two different shows. But I got back to the hotel, and on Sports Center they were showing clips of the show. Right. They had Trae Young ripping the New York Knicks jersey on stage. Like the moment we're talking about, like got back after dinner, like 10 o'clock. There was like just more highlights of Fanatics Fest. So insane. Obviously the shtick of Brady slapping Paul. So there was just all these moments wrapped into this event. And while you were there, there was just these moments happening all around you.
Organically, things were happening. I got to say, if they are thinking about, if that is true, that they're thinking, okay, we're going to go back to doing it in June next year. Frankly, I don't know why they would. I know the World Cup final was this weekend, and that's a big reason why they tried to coincide with that. But like, you have a gap in that All-Star break, MLB All-Star break week, where there is very little on the sports calendar. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the perfect moment to be like, we can get all the eyeballs can be here. Obviously, you can get baseball players that maybe wouldn't necessarily come, because I saw there was obviously Aaron Judge was there, and like there was huge, there was Dodgers who were walking the show floor. So like, and then on top of that, all of the other massive celebs and everything. But you have this window of attention in the sports world where it's like, if you want to maximize the amount of eyeballs, the amount of people who want to get in on it, it's kind of the perfect spot to have a show like this if you are trying to be Sports Comic-Con.
I don't disagree, but my having to travel next week now to Chicago.
I get that.
Because there's a lot of us that are going like twice. Would be like, well, one of them's got to move. One of us got to move 100%,
because it's exhausting.
But I mean, that doesn't speak for the majority of the population. Right. So there's a handful of us that are in this. Not a handful. There's a lot of us like in the different businesses that are doing both, right? And we actually did the West Coast Card Show as well, right? So we had 3 in the span of 2 weeks to attend to and staff, and And that's the challenge for us. But I get what you're saying, because there's just like less sports going on right then. But next year we won't even have the World Cup to lean on. So maybe it is, the right timing, and you get NBA, you get NFL players to want to come out there because they're not necessarily in camp now. Well, maybe some of the football players did go to OTAs though, so you get maybe a little less if you're in July.
There wasn't a ton. Yeah, I was gonna say, in terms of like active football players, there was a few out there,
right?
But not as many. So maybe you have it in June. Might be a little easier to get.
Might be a little bit more in the off season for football, but
yeah. I mean, I get your point. Like, if we were just looking at from our perspective in the trading card, sports cards world, yeah, it's tough. So I guess that's what Fanatics has to do. And obviously, I think from what it looked like, a much bigger presence of the hobby at this year's show. It just felt like there was more tables set up. I mean, again, I'm talking from social media perspective of like seeing deals go down and seeing these big displays on the show floor. It felt like I saw more of that this year than I did last year. And part of that might just be just people strategizing and being like, what are the kind of things we need to put out there?
Well, I think, everybody has, you kind of surround yourself with success in a sense that you see how much social media is coming out from Fanatics. You see, Card Collector 2 and all these guys. And we've tried this approach for the last 3 years. We want to do a lot of social media too, but I think that's even heightened even more now. So, and especially if your algorithm in social media, like mine and yourselves, is hobby related, you're seeing all of it. You're seeing 10 times more than you would on a regular random Saturday or Sunday or Friday, right? But I think it is actually kind of the small part of the show if you're walking as a consumer. And this was the first year I noticed like Starbucks had a huge presence. They had free drinks every day, different ones, which I'm not a big Starbucks guy. I go in there and get my same coffee. I don't really try other things, but they had like new refresher drinks that I believe they were kind of testing there.
They look good.
And I had the blue one and it was really good. And they were giving out free $10 gift cards that were in the design of popular trading cards, like the O-Pee-Chee one that I got. There was like an 86 Fleer. I believe there was like a 52 Bowman design. Yeah. There wasn't any copyright infringement because they were using just the border. And you could collect those every day, a different one every day. And I believe our social media girl, Sophia, did it, and she got a custom like Starbucks jacket for free.
She did.
So that was a huge activation. They had like 9 athletes coming in and serving coffee. Mm-hmm. So it's like you see Starbucks, then there's Target, in there. There's AT&T has a booth in there. TikTok Shop has a booth in there. So there's a lot and then of course, Nike, Adidas, Premier League, F1, Mitchell and Ness, all these other companies also that are sports related that are there and showing off their things, having limited drops. So, but the cards were like in the center where we were. And then there was more like bigger based breakers and card shops that were on the other side where like V-Friends were. They had like Suncoast and Backyard, and Card Vault had like big booths out there, Swish. And then in our areas, because more like just your common selling singles and wax. Yeah. But from a selling standpoint, I will tell you guys this. I gave our team a goal of a pretty lofty amount to sell singles and boxes, to the point where I didn't think we would get close. Like the chief of strategy was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we'll be able to hit that. And we exceeded that number.
Hell yeah.
So that's the crazy aspect of it is it's like, it's not known as a card show, but we felt like there was just so much commerce going on.
Yep. I think it too. People are feeding off the energy of just like they're seeing, again, it speaks to like what we're talking about. Like whether, at a certain point, the reality, what you could say, oh, it's all online is not reality. Social media is not reality. But like people do see that and they're like, well, I went in on the action as well. Oh, that table's got cool things that I didn't notice. And it attracts everybody. So yeah, people want to get in on it. They don't want that FOMO. They want to feel like, I made a big deal too, So
right.
That's exciting that it's becoming that. But yeah, I mean, it just looks like this is firing on all cylinders. It does feels like it's not stopping the momentum for this show.
Yeah, and what my biggest takeaway with all of this too is that there was probably the most amount of youth that I had ever seen at any show, and I've been going to shows since 2013. And I would tell you from like 2013 shows to 2020, no kids, very rarely. If the kid was tagging along with his dad and he didn't seem to care. now, we did a deal with, I didn't ask ages, but this person seemed like they were 17 to 18 years old, bought a $19,500 card, pulled out a bank bag.
Jeez.
Pulled out a bank bag and, all organized and, knowing that, it was an 86 Jordan PSA 8. So a card that's gone up quite significantly over the course of the last couple months. And, this person believed that this was an asset, and he was like 17 or 18 and looking forward to possibly making a couple thousand on this, maybe at the National.
Yeah.
So it was wild to see like the youth just becoming and like asking for Topps case sets. This was what was important to me. I was like, there was kids coming up asking if we had kaijus in our thing. Like we're talking about like 10, 11, 12. So, for Fanatics standpoint, that's what they really love, is if they're going to be building young collectors into these case hits that they have now, which are, battling against the Downtowns, the Kabooms, all these other case hits that people love right now. They need to have this youth generation. And there was some semblance of that here at this show, that I was getting asked about these case hits. And then even DA Card World said, we're buying helixes.
Yeah.
So
look, there's a gap to be filled with now that Topps is this is the first Fanatics Fest where Topps is all in on everything in terms of football, basketball, baseball. That's why you've seen this uptick in the SPs and Topps products. That's why, I don't know if you saw, I'm sure they were promoting the hell out of it with Topps Chrome Baseball coming out this week. They have finally changed the ultraviolet design to the one they had in football and in basketball. And oh my God, they look so good.
They look so good. I think we bought a few of those. I really want to start buying those. I actually bought I don't know if Bubba showed it to you, the 2024 complete ultraviolet set, but it was the green groovy looking design,
the retro one they did, which is a fine design, but like God, the moment they introduced that one for basketball, I just went, I need this so bad.
That's
for
the one. Yeah, I need it. I want to collect the football and the basketball ones, and now of course with this new Topps Chrome release, which we're going to be doing this week on all the platforms. Check us out, mojobreak.com, as well as Fanatics Live, and get into your Topps Chrome, which is always, it's just a great time of year when Topps Chrome is out.
It's the best. We're going to have a big release day, too. I think you're in shop, so that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, but what I will say, National, as we wrap up this podcast, we do have Brent from Replay Sports Cards coming up next. We did an interview at Fanatics Fest with them. Learned a little bit about their business, their origins. Good dudes, or good dude. I didn't meet anybody else besides Brent, but seemed like he was very knowledgeable. So listen to that coming up, the quick little interview we did at Fanatics Fest. But if the biggest thing of the National is like, if I'm looking for the 1964 Topps card number 152, I'm not going to find that at Fanatics Fest.
Yep.
I'm getting like the cream of the crop type of card names and little to no dollar bins and singles and stuff like that. But the National, it has it all.
And this is the thing, and we say it every year, and I think it became so, all the lead up to that first one, there was the feeling of, this is the National killer. And it's never going to happen. I will say that pretty firmly. This has its own audience. It's got its own place in this world and in this hobby and in the sports world. The fact, I think to speak to that, you mentioned West Coast Card Show was happening. I believe Dallas was happening as well. These are by themselves. If these were happening on 3 separate weekends, we would have seen an influx of reactions and social media content from all 3 of these shows, as we have in years past. The fact that, and again, there were no boots on the ground at Dallas. We had boots on the ground in West Coast Card Show. And I know there was a lot of talk of like, it was still an incredibly busy show. There was still a lot of people out there. I saw photos and video and you know what? There were athletes there who were going out. I think I saw like Angels players walking the show floor, buying cards and stuff. So like it speaks to the health of this hobby and this industry that we can have these 3 huge shows, basically one for each time zone in the United States, and they can all thrive and they can all coexist.
Yeah, 100%. And let's face it. West Coast for us to go out to New York, that's a bit of a travel. So if I was just a hobbyist, I probably would still go to the West Coast show as opposed to Fanatics. I think if you have a business or you're doing an intro to sports, like you go to Fanatics Fest and it's a little less daunting than those type of shows, right? Because you can like kind of dabble into the sports card area. You can do the Starbucks, you could do the the WWE stuff. You can shop. You can look at all the other activations and kind of dabble into sports cards. I'm actually thinking about bringing my family out to Fanatics Fest next year.
Nice.
Because I think, if they go one day and they don't like they did the Fanatics Fest, they can go do something else together in New York. Right. Yeah. There's plenty of things to do. Right. So whether you go to Chicago, Rosemont, there's you got Cubs games, things like that. Right. There's not a lot to do.
You do have to, it is a bit of a trek from the Rosemont area to downtown Chicago. If you're going to do that every day, if you brought the family out, you're right. Yeah. You can only see the bean so many times.
Right. Exactly.
I do love that bean.
The bean's cool.
We love the bean.
You do the Rocket. No, that's in Cleveland. I was like, you could do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but no, that's Cleveland.
There's a lot to do with Chicago.
Yeah.
I say they got I feel like the Natural History Museum there is really cool.
Yep.
And they got some good. It's Chicago. It's one of the great cities.
Well,
in
yeah, and
America.
a deep dish pizza. I mean, it's enough of that to try all of them on different days.
It's one of the finest cities in the America, and we'll be there. We'll be in Rosemont, but we'll be, probably. I'll try to get out to there to.
And we got to go to Richie's for those that if you know, you know.
I wasn't even gonna say it because I almost don't want to blow up our spot here, but yeah, shout out to Richie's.
Yeah,
can't wait.
But yeah, I mean that kind of is the experience was great. Celebs being around helps the hobby, helps it bring awareness. I mean, we obviously. Did a deal with Jason Sudeikis, super cool, just as funny as you would think. A really authentic person with his son Otis that we did content with. Carl Anthony Towns was great. It was good opportunities that we had for our business, and but you still had the availability to walk around these booths and buy cards from a lot of single sellers.
Yeah.
So from a card standpoint, they had everything covered.
Yeah, and the thing is, in the National, the thing that I'm excited about is we're going to see what Upper Deck has to offer. We're going to get to see the Panini areas, all these other big card brands that you don't get to see at Fanatics Fest. So that's, to me, what I'm excited about. And if there's anyone who's like, the glitz and glamour Fanatics Fest, well, guess what? We're probably going to see a lot of those names that you saw walking around Fanatics Fest, probably going to be walking around the National as well. So.
Yeah, because they're, I mean, I could speak for definitely Sudeikis. He was involved.
That was the thing.
His son was involved, knew what they were talking about, and it wasn't just like they're paid to kind of walk around.
Right. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, he clearly cares about the stuff and understands it and is interested. But I thought, okay, probably one day on the show floor because he's very busy. I mean, he was literally at the World Cup in the halftime show on Sunday.
Amazing. So I actually rewatched that last night. I didn't even know because we were at the Fanatics Fest. We were watching it. But we were also kind of tearing down at that point, and still open to the public there, still selling singles. And I turned around and I saw Bieber. So I thought that was, to me at the time, I thought that was the whole thing because it was Bieber to Shakira and then the kids singing.
Right.
And so I thought that was that was the whole thing. Got home last night. I was like, hey, let's watch this because I didn't see it. And it was like, wait, Madonna was in this?
Madonna.
Wait, BTS?
Kermit the Frog.
Freaking Ted Lasso. And it's just, yeah, it was cool that halftime show was they really stepped it up.
I liked it. I know I think there's a lot of international fans who were like, get this halftime show out of my soccer. But sorry, you
got to do what your country is good at, right?
This is what we're good at.
If they had it in Norway, it may be like a rowing thing the whole time, just Viking songs, and that would be awesome for them.
That would rule.
That would be pretty fun to watch. But it's sponsored by Topps too, which was crazy. I've never that made me like, this hobby is crazy that we are actually now seeing just a major television event sponsored by Topps.
That was kind of the cherry on top for their weekend, right? Of Topps and Fanatics, of what the ultimate flex of where they have come in the last few years, where they are now, then now Topps. I mean, just remember us doing an emergency podcast the night it broke that, oh my God, it's the end of Topps. They've lost the MLB license. What's going to happen? And here they are. They're sponsoring the halftime show for the FIFA World Cup. Pretty incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild. I mean, one thing I will say that didn't quite hit the mark compared to the last 2 years, and then we're going to get into this replay interview here, is the 3 drops that they focused on, the EQLs, the Series 2 Fanatics Fest NYC edition, and the UEFA Club Competition Fanatics Fest edition, and the Baseball Cactus Jack. Definitely underperformed from the customer being able to flip it at the show. So in the prior 2 years, I think it was the first year, Cactus Jack was like, I don't know what the price, but people were almost able to double their money on Cactus Jack. And we were buying them. We were buying 10, we bought 5, we bought 8, whatever of this one here and there. Customers coming up all day trying to flip it. This year, the Topps release, the Series 2 is $360 to the customer. We bought some at $300. There's actually people willing to lose money.
Wow.
So yeah, they're just like, they thought that they'd be able to flip it for a lot, and they got desperate.
Is it maybe just because it's 3 years of it's the same? It's essentially the same 2 or 3 products that they've been doing.
Yeah, it's a $360 hobby box, right? And it's so
something like if they offered, heck, if they're like, we were a week away from Topps Chrome Baseball. What if they just offered an exclusive Fanatics Fest version of Topps Chrome Baseball?
Yes.
And you get it a week early.
Yes.
That would have been huge.
And we only opened a few. I had a Colson Montgomery Chrome card in my blaster, number to 25, Rising Stars. And then Bubba he ripped 2 boxes on Fanatics Live with Junk Wax Vintage. Great guys, great guy and wife, by the way. They're awesome people. Dallin, just dudes out there doing,
it was awesome.
Just great at breaking and talking. I try to be good at talking as well. And we hit a Superfractor Rising Stars, the Big Apple insert. Superfractor Derek Jeter.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome hit. And that was only in 3 boxes. So I'm like, maybe these boxes are loaded and people aren't even willing to try them.
Sleeping on it.
And then same thing with the club competition. I think we started buying at like 600 and we got down to like 450 and we were still buying some.
Sheesh.
Cactus Jack was the only one that I think people were able to flip for a profit consistently, but it really paled in comparison to the last couple of years. And I think it was because Topps charged a little bit more, and maybe they wanted people to rip at that price, because I think at that price it's a good value to rip.
They were too early because I guess sort of spoiler alert for the Odyssey. It literally happens in the first minute of the movie. Travis Scott is in the movie. Travis Scott is the one narrating the Odyssey poem. I'm like, oh my God, what? So anyway, they were early. They needed to wait for the Odyssey to come out and get that fever to.
Is it causing a spike in those Travis Scott cards out there?
I think it should.
Yeah.
He's now star of the biggest movie of the summer. So,
Wow.
Try it.
Should have
waited.
Yeah, they definitely should have waited. And, so maybe I'll be trying to chase some Travis Scott out of those Cactus Jack boxes.
Never know.
I know somebody hit the 101 and had it signed by him at the show.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, that's all we got. Let's check out this interview we did at Fanatics Fest with Brent from Replay Sports Cards.
What is going on, everybody? We are here. It's Fanatics Fest. It's Saturday. It is absolute chaos.
It's nuts.
And we are here with Brent from Replay Sports Cards. And we're going to sit down, and I just want to know a little bit about your origin story. How you guys got here. How'd you guys start? How did you get into collecting? And I just want to talk a little bit about your shop and your breaking operation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. Like you said, Fanatics Fest has been nuts. I believe it's y'all's third year, our third year doing it. We love the show. This is everything the hobby is about and a little bit more, sports in general. Man, I've collected my whole life. I opened my first pack, I think, when I was 6. My birthday, and just from then, I've just always collected. It's just been something really special to me my whole life. Back pre-COVID, I kind of was ramping up my collecting, kind of doing what a lot of people here are doing now. Just kind of before a little bit of the boom, going to shows, meeting people, networking. I lived in Charlotte, still do. And then just decided I wanted to kind of take it to the next step while I was in college. Started a company, started meeting people, buying, selling cards, going to shows. Then just in Charlotte, met up with some really great people. One of my co-founders now, Mike Martin, we met in Charlotte, decided we want to open a shop in Charlotte, right in the city. That's kind of where it started. We opened a shop there, started to grow and expand, and into what Replay is now. We were originally One Stop Sports, but then rebranded it about a year and a half ago to Replay.
What was the thought process behind the name Replay?
We loved the name One Stop, but we got together with the group from an overall brand perspective and just kind of looked at the name and everything. It was a little confusing to some people, but it was kind of a small. It was our brand, right? And then as we wanted to grow and expand, we needed something a little bit more national, a little more recognizable, a little more clean. Replay for us is just like, it's what cards are, like just replaying memories of sports and different players and stuff. And, we want the cards to replay memories for people, but also, just kids and their parents to replay their memories and sports memories and stuff too. So a lot of that. Yeah.
Important question: have you ever broken any Panini replay?
Panini replay? No.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
good one.
They actually had some Steph Curry RPAs
Really?
that they held back, you know, for like if they're damaged.
Yeah.
And they put them as like big chases. But other than that, the product was kind of weird,
Yeah,
and
old
wacky.
school. Yeah,
Well,
no one's ever asked me that before. That's
It's funny. It's funny you brought up replay because that was the origin story of honors football. That you guys have probably ripped that.
Yeah, we got
honors. So like
And Mosaic.
Mosaic
Mosaic started
yeah,
because-
that all came from replay back in what year? Is that 15, 16? 16.
15, 16, because it was Towns. And they felt so bad about it that they gave us some Mosaic boxes afterwards.
Nice.
But it actually, the legend lived on because of the Currys in there.
Oh,
So it was kind of
very cool.
it kind of became like a rebound of a thing, and it kind of plays in. You said replay. I replayed the memory of replay in my head. So
Absolutely. And then also like instant replays and stuff too. Like
Yeah.
there's lots of different things, but now we got a new one. So
I
So
love
we're-
it. And you said you're based out of Charlotte, right?
yep, so
Okay. Are you guys in downtown Charlotte?
yeah, we're in South End, so it's like adjacent. It's right over our little tiny bridge. But yes, essentially.
I gotta say, Charlotte, one of my favorite cities to visit.
Absolutely,
I don't know if anybody, I don't know if you've been there, but like it is.
one of the fastest growing cities too.
And I gotta say, downtown, one of the cleanest downtowns I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And you got the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we're walking distance from NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Right by the light rail and everything. That was our first store. We opened back in 2021. Prior to that, it changed a ton, and since then, it's changed a ton as well.
Yep.
Charlotte, so.
Yeah, and you guys are right there by the Panther Stadium too,
Yep.
right? Bank of America.
Walk there,
Yep.
can walk
Yep.
to the Hornets. That's the nice thing about the city. Big city feel, not a whole lot of surface areas.
Yeah.
It's really a small city when you think about it. But
and you guys do breaks. Where do you guys mainly break at? Which platform?
we break mainly on TikTok, around 18 to 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. We just started a second channel to mix in a little bit. We do Whatnot singles streams, eBay Live here and there as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you primarily focused on the sports categories, or do you do any like TCG, Pokemon, stuff like that?
Yeah, so TCG is like it's tangential to our business. We have it because you have to. Like everyone loves Pokemon. I never really collected as a kid, but now I have no choice.
Yeah.
So we definitely sell a lot of packs, a lot of singles. I love Pokemon, but it's mainly sports. We'll have some of the entertainment stuff to break on release. Some of the tops from Disney's, Marvel, stuff like that.
What's your heart? I mean, for somebody that is starting out, like they're thinking about starting a breaking business today, what is your hardest challenge on doing live breaks?
It's a good question. You have to build an audience and a community. Fortunately for us, we started with that in our shops. We didn't really do live breaks. We do occasional live breaks, but we really built our brand and community and following. And then, we basically just translated that, what we do in person, onto our live breaks. We're very particular with our breakers and how they engage and behave and act with our community when they're in shop and also on stream too. So just building that brand and that trust in a way that you want to behave both in person and on air, and just making sure that you do that as often, obviously, ideally as much as you can. So people trust you and, want to follow you there too.
And how do you navigate, like, getting products is obviously hard. We're in a hot market right now, and it's really hard to get certain types of products. How do you guys, as a business, navigate getting the product that your customers want?
Yeah, it's great having shops because people just come in and tell us. We're direct with Topps, Upper Deck, Panini, all that. So we get everything through there, and as we sell through certain products, we're collectors as well too. So products we like, we just do as much as we can as that. With streaming, we have our director of breaking on TikTok. He's a collector. He loves product. He has a really good idea of what does well and what our consumers like. So we just real-time communication with each other across the shops, on our streams and everything. Talk about what's doing well, what people are asking about in chats, and we really just make real-time decisions. The product comes out, Topps Chrome Black football. It was doing really well on streams. People liked it. I like it. Our customers like it. I went and bought 100 more boxes on secondary market just to have it. And we've been breaking it the past 2 days just to keep giving our customers what they want. That's another tip I have for breakers is like listen to your audience. Listen to the people that are supporting you and that are there, spending their time with you, and try and tailor your product and stuff to them, obviously within reason. But that's worked for us.
What's the biggest hit you guys have had in recent memory for one of your customers on streams?
Just off the top of my head, Topps Chrome Football release day, we pulled a Kaiju dart, pulled a couple superfractors, probably the dart in recent memory.
You guys are in Charlotte. Has Luke Combs stopped by the shop?
He is not yet. He's been traveling a bunch. We're actually good friends with his college guitarist is a really good friend of mine.
Oh yeah, I follow him.
Adam Church.
Yes, yeah, he's great.
Our first ever trade night we did at our Charlotte store. He played there, and we did some fun stuff there. But he's a really good friend of mine, so we'll definitely.
You guys have had music in the shop?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love that.
And we're going to open it. One of our franchise locations that's opening up in a month or two is going to be right in Nashville too. So we'll do some stuff with Luke. We'll have some fun there.
Awesome. So. Obviously, super busy schedule for all of us in the industry right now. We have the National about 10 days away. Are you guys going to be set up at the National?
We will be set up at the National. Our booth is a little bit different. Last year we set up on the second floor, and we basically, what we had was, we weren't selling. We did some breaks from there, but we were talking about our Replay Gives Back initiative. We were handing out cards, taking in donations, talking about our brand, and really just engaging with collectors, especially young collectors who are learning, and just kind of trying to contribute something positive to the collectors that were there. But we don't have a booth set up selling. We're doing something a little bit bigger this year, upstairs again. We're just going to be talking with collectors, giving out stuff, giving out packs, taking in donations that we can then go give to our communities and everything too. So.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to do something together at the National as well.
Absolutely.
I love the origin story. I got to get out to Charlotte. But you guys got to follow these guys.
Yeah.
If you're in the Charlotte area, you've probably already been in their shop. If you haven't, you need to go and check out the breaks on TikTok, man. We'd like to thank you for taking the time, Brent.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Big thanks once again to Brent from Replay Sports Cards. Make sure to check them out and follow them. And make sure to check us out wherever you get breaks, mojobreak.com. And, of course, on eBay Live, single streams, hockey. We got brand new hockey this week. Ultimate Collection Hockey, one of the best looking sets around. Always a favorite of mine. I always loved ripping Ultimate Collection. When I was doing breaks, it was one of my favorites to rip all the time. And Ultimate Collection is one of the best looking sets. We're going to be ripping it on eBay Live on release day. We got big breaks coming up. I think a lot of our release day breaks already sold out. So thank you guys, our huge hockey community who is growing over on eBay Live for doing that. But we will have more breaks throughout the weekend. And of course, we're doing gaming as well. Pokemon Pitch Black, still ripping that. Plus, don't know if they're doing Lorcana, but we do have a big Lorcana set coming out on Friday. So keep an eye out. TCG, gaming, hockey, singles, all that good stuff. Plus, we do have some big news at the National. We're ripping at the eBay booth. We've got more information to come, but mark your calendars for Friday, July 31st. We're going to have some very special breaks that are big enough for the National. We keep the biggest stuff for the National. We want to do it big. So that's exactly what we're going to try to do. Maybe look back at some other stuff we've done in the past, maybe give you some ideas of exactly what we're bringing to the table at our eBay Live rip live from the show floor at the National. Join us then, Friday, July 31st. More details to come. Thanks again for listening to The Hype. Thanks again to Brent from Replay Sports Cards. Again, make sure to follow us, Mojobreak Media, wherever you get podcasts. Just search Mojobreak. Or if you're watching, or if you're listening to this, I should say, make sure to subscribe to Mojobreak Media on YouTube and make sure to follow us all over social media. We got more content from Fanatics Fest rolling out. We're going to have a ton from the National as well. You know where to find us. And we'll see you guys next time on The Hype.